This conference will now be recorded.
Hello everyone, very good morning to all. In last session, we discussed Ajax. I mean, how to work with Ajax. There are three steps are there. First of all, we have to create Ajax object. Second one is going to be sending a request to server. And third one is going to be handling the response. Whatever the response we will get, that response we have to handle. To work with Ajax, these are the three major steps. I think we seen how to create Ajax object, how to send a request, how to handle the response. Now, all these three steps I'm going to implement in one page. Okay. Now, a task we are going to do. What is Ajax? Without refreshing, without reloading, we can get data from a server. I mean, without refreshing, without reloading. So here, I want to get a COVID-19 information from an API. From an API. So up to date, guys, I think up to date in the sense today, maybe early morning, 2:30 p.m. up to that information we can get it here from all the countries in the world, every country. So I want to display in a table the country, COUNTRY country, and total cases, total number of cases we have in the particular country. If you want, you can see the total deaths also, right? We have all the information is available here, total deaths and total recovery also. If you want, you can see total recoveries. So all we can see here. Okay, so from that API, I will show you the information which is available in the API so that you will be easy to understand. Okay, right. So first of all, let me create the file, right? I'm going to create a file. Right, so here I'm taking HTML tag open, HTML tag close. Let me save it. So here we want to take XAMPP, sorry, not XAMPP, I believe. So in your location, Teja folder, 8 am UI, JavaScript. Let me save the file with name COVID-19.html is a file. You can take any HTML name to this, no problem. Let us take head open, head close. In this title, open, title close, COVID-19 information worldwide. Okay, COVID-19 worldwide information. Okay. Sorry guys. So here, let me complete a button also, and button tag open, button tag close. Here in the button, I just want to make it as a load data. That's all. On click the load data button, we have to get the data. Let me do one more thing. Here I am taking an empty div. This is a div with ID equal to data. That's all. This div is empty. Whatever the data, on click this button. Remember, On click this button, we have to get the COVID data, and the data should be appended to the following data at the div. That's all. Actually, right now, if we can execute it, we can see anything, right? Definitely, you cannot see anything. Just I'm running the file. You can see this is just we are having. On click this load data button, we have to get the data from an URL. But see, we know what is our intention. I have to display COVID-19 information. But from where we have to get it, that COVID-19 information, where is the data available? That's why here we will call this as an endpoint URL. What is this is called? Endpoint URL. I mean, where is the data? Or some people will call also this as a service URL. Service URL. So where is your data? How do we know? Actually, I too don't know, you too don't know. This URL will provided by the developers actually, right? We don't know. Our intention is here from the data, from the server, we have to get the data without refreshing, without reloading. What is the server? What is the name of the server? What is the URL of the server? This is provided by the developers, guys. Anyhow, I have Googled for it to get the COVID-19 information API. Now you can check this COVID-19. I have a small URL here regarding COVID-19. So this is the endpoint URLs. Can you see the request type is get, this is api.com. And here is also request type is get. See, this is the summary. This API URL I have to access. Okay, this is the URLs. Like this, you can get a lot of URLs. Okay, all the countries information you want to get it. Yes, you can go for the countries. Like this, you are able to see status confirmed. Like this, there are a lot of endpoint URLs are there. Get day one total. Like this, you are getting complete information here. Okay, don't worry. Now, whatever the URL I have here, this is the URL I copied from there. Let me hit enter. Can you see this is all the JSON data? I think you know this is the JSON data and a lot of information is there. I mean, this is going to give you almost all 190 plus countries information. 190 plus countries information. I mean, it's not a small thing. Very huge amount of data we got it. I see. I think by seeing this JSON, do you understand anything? Where is the data? Data was in this endpoint URL. From this endpoint URL, we have to get the data into our application. This is our file now. This is the endpoint URL. This is your file. Whatever the data you are able to see here, this data I have to collect here. I have to display the data into a HTML table format. Right? Okay, let us go there. So that too, when it has to work, when you are clicking the load data button, it should not refresh, it should not reload, but the data should be come from the server. It should be appended on the screen. So the following do. What I want to do, let me take on click event on the button, load COVID-19 data. This is the function I'm creating, load COVID-19 data. Just I'm creating a function. Now you can check this, save the file, do one thing, script tag open, script tag close. Okay, script to open, script close. In this, I'm just writing the function open, function close. This is exactly the thing. Okay, right. So what is going to be happen? On click the button, this function is going to be called. But in this function, what we need to do, we have to get the Ajax data. That too, without refreshing, without reloading. Let us see how we can do this, guys, here. To work with Ajax, we have to create Ajax object, send request to server, and handling response, right? The same three steps should be implemented inside this function. Let us go for it. Where obj, the first step I'm doing here, new XML HTTP request object is created. Object is ready. So the first step, if you want, you can write conditions also like this. One, Ajax object creation. Okay, Ajax object creation. This is going to be the second. What is the second step we are having here? The second step is going to be sending request to server. Na? Once the object is created, then only we can do anything. Sending request to server. Now you can see obj.open is a method as well as obj.send. Both the things you have to write. What open method will do? Open method will establish a connection with server. Once the connection is established, the connection will send to the server by using send method. Understand guys here? We have open method to establish the connection. We have send method to send the connection to server. In the open method, we know that there are 5 parameters are there. Last 3 parameters, nothing but username and password are optional, and the first 3 are mandatory. What is the first one? Method. What type of method? That is get method. Because we are getting the data from the server, we are not posting anything, we are just getting the data, right? Okay, this is get. Next one is going to be the third one is the asynchronous request. Already we seen what is the meaning of asynchronous request. Sending multiple requests to the server irrespective of waiting for the response. That is the meaning of asynchronous. But here this is very important, the concept, that is what you need to check it here. That is an endpoint URL. Where is the data? We just seen, right? This is the data. You are having the data here. Copy the URL and just paste the URL here. From that URL, you have to fetch the data. Now you can see 1 minute. Up to here, I'm going to execute my file. Press F12 also. And if you can press F12, if you can click this load data button, then what will happen? Ajax object will be created. Request will be sent to server. Now, how do we know on click this button the request is went to server? Now you can go to these elements, console, sources, and finally go to the network tab. In the network tab, we can understand, can you see what are all the sources are loading? All we can see here. Now you can see this is the file is loaded. Now on click this button, can you see all of you? Now can you see a request went to summary? Can you see this is the URL you said there? I think you can get the tooltip. If you can just keep the mouse on that, can you see there is a tooltip you are getting? HTTPS API COVID-19 API.com/summary. To that URL request went. What is the status you got? 200 means that your request went to server successfully. What type of request this is? XHR request. XHR means XML HTTP request object. That is a request type. Okay, so 200 means everything is okay. But and one more thing, if you can click on the summary. If you can click on the summary, can you see guys here? Headers, where you sent the request. I sent the request to the following URL. And what is the request method here? And what is the status code? Status code is 200. And what is the request method? You are getting the data from the following URL, right? And this is remote address and all are not required, don't worry. But first, if you can observe this first 3 request headers, all are, you can see lot of things are going to be there, but all are not required, don't worry about it, right? So whatever the request we are sending, that request information we can see here, and this is the data you are getting from that server. I think you are able to see this whole data now. This whole data is decoded and you are able to see the data like this. No, actual response you want to see, this is the actual response. The actual response is completely JSON data. I mean, whatever the data you are able to see here, the same data you are able to see in one line here. Okay, now this is all. If you can copy this, now you can see I copied all this. Now you can keep into a file. Now you can see this is all the information you are getting. How much information is there? You can just see all the same information. I mean, whatever the data you are able to see in the browser, the same we are able to see here also. Okay, now, right. Okay, so we understand that the data was available in the console, right? So we sent a request to server and we got the data in the console on load the button. Yeah, we are able to see the data here. This data should be handled. You are able to see the data here now. This data you have to get and you have to display into the browser window, not in the console. Who can see in the console? No one can see in the console. Only as a developer you can see, I can see. So whatever the data you are able to see in the console, that data is not clean, but the data is, this is like this. The console data was like this. Can anybody understand by seeing this data, the console data? No one can understand. Then what we need to do, we have to format this data, and we have to display into a HTML table format so that everybody can see this information very clearly. So then what I need to do here, so the third step is nothing but the response handling. Let us go for it. Response handling. Yes, the response handling, how we have to start. See, you sent a request to server, right? This is the request sending. By using these two steps, we sent a request to server. Once the server receives the request, if the server receives the request, here there is a property called on ready state change. It's an event property that gets called automatically. Now you can see I am going to write a small thing, obj dot on ready state change, object dot change equal to a function. You have to write a callback function. Remember carefully. Response handling should done in the following scenario, guys, here. So this function you are appending to onReady state change now, this function will call automatically when once the server, you are sending a request to server now. If the server receives the request, this event property will call automatically. We don't want to call it. We don't want to call it. The property will call automatically. Then in this, what we need to do? We have some properties are there. Ready state. What is this ready state? Now you can see the predefined property called ready state. This ready state property will tell us what is happening in the server. Now you can see I just want to write alert message here. In this alert, I'm writing obj.ready state. Try to see. I will click the load button. So if you can click it, ready state value 2. 2 means your request received by the server. Close this. Now you are getting ready state 3. 3 means your request is processing. Now I'm closing it again. You are getting 4. 4 means your request processed successfully. Response is ready. I mean the ready state values. We don't know what is happening in the server. What is that is happen. All Ajax will always work behind the scenes. What is happening behind the scenes? We don't know. By seeing these codes, these ready state values, 2 means received by the server, request received by the server. 3 means request is processing by the server. 4 means request processed successfully, response ready. So what I understand, you have one more property also, status. This is also one predefined property. Now you can check this. You will get a value called 200. What is the meaning of 200? Success. Can you see? You are getting 200 here now. Success. For example, I'm giving you some invalid URL 123 something. This is not valid. Now you can see. I think you will get some 404 error. What is this the meaning of 404? Means that whatever the URL you are requesting to get the data, and that is nothing but the error, the value error 404 means that whatever the URL you are requesting to get the data, that URL is not available. I mean you provided an invalid path. Because of that you will get the following things. The status property, if the valid URL if you can provide, the status property will always return 200. So what I want to do, I understand one thing. If everything is okay, this ready state value, what is the ready state value, is equal to 4 if everything is okay, right? If ready state value 4, and you can see obj dot status status equal to 200. If it is other than 200, I don't want. If the ready state is 4 and status is 200, then only I have to handle the response, right? Yes, this is you have tried. Obj dot ready state equal to 4 and status equal to 200. Conditionally we have to write it, guys, here. Now you can see the response text. I'm going to print it. Now you can see console.log, console.log. In this, to get the response which is written from the server, we have a property called response text. Response text is predefined, ready state is predefined, and this is also predefined. On ready state change, 4 properties we are using here. On ready state change, ready state S capital, and status response text T capital. Okay, now you can check this. I think in the console we can see the data. Now you can see, oh, URL is wrong. Huh? Okay, sorry. Let us make the valid URL. Now you can refresh the page again. Now if you can click on it, can you see guys here? What is this data you are getting? All the data is in a string format actually. This is not something. Can you see? This is a string. Completely, you are able to print something on the console that is completely a string format. If the data is in a string format, how can we access it? It is impossible, na? Definitely. Whatever the data, if you still want, you can check the type of keyword also. By using this type of keyword also, we can understand, right, what type of data you are getting. String data we are getting. The data you are able to see in the console is completely a string format. What string format, you know? That is a JSON string. If the data is in JSON format, how we can convert this into JavaScript object? JSON string to JavaScript object. How we can do this? Let us take a variable where JData is equal to, this is the thing, we are getting JSON data. This is completely JSON. How can we convert this JSON string into JavaScript object? I think we seen in the last session. JSON dot parse, P-A-R-S-E parse, and just pass the data to this. I think if we can pass the data, now let me print this console.log of JData. Earlier we printed when we seen, and what is the output? Now we can see I'm printing. Now can we see it's a pure JavaScript object. It's a pure JavaScript object. Can you see what is the prototype of it? It's an object. Now you can see the data is very clear now. We have global information. These are the information which is available. What is the time guys here? Early morning 2:47. This data is updated. Today's early morning 2:47 data is updated, and a newly confirmed today globally 3 lakhs cases. Newly deaths throughout the world 6,000, and a total confirmed as of now worldwide. I believe I think this is total deaths worldwide as of now, total record. It is not updated. It is they are giving simply as a 0. Okay, but don't worry, this is the global information. No, I need country wise information. Then you can click on the countries object, sub object. Now you can see country 1, country 2, country 3, country 4, like Afghanistan, and newly confirmed cases yesterday. This is yesterday's information, and this is the worldwide whole information, complete information as of now. How many cases, how many deaths? So I don't want all this information. Let us get only countries. Okay, let us take a variable again. Let us all countries equal to, I'm going to take this as a jdata dot countries. I did only countries guys. I don't want everything in this. If we can expand this countries, this is the sub object countries now. Just I have to copy this jdata dot countries. I think I don't want all the information. I don't want global information. I don't want some other information. You want to get global information, then have the global object. This is the global object keyword. So this is the thing you are having. Just copy this global, and where you want to get a global information, then jdata dot global. If you want to get a global information, but everything is an object. All countries is an object. Global information is an object. So I don't want all global information. If you want, you can take it, but I don't want to access it. I'm commenting simply. Okay, right. Now I will show you console.log of all countries. Let us print it. You this time you will get only the countries. Can you see 193 countries that I am able to see here? If we can expand this, I think you can see country wise information we're able to see. Earlier we printed complete JSON object, we got all the information from this complete JSON object. Just I want to get the countries only. This is what now we can see. I'm just writing a for loop where I equal to 0, I less than all countries dot length and d and I plus plus. Okay, just you can make it as I plus plus. That's all. Now you can check this console.log. It's an array actually. Right now you can see all countries of I. I'm just going to take it as an I. Okay, now you can check this. Now if you can refresh, you can see all the individual countries are displayed right now. Earlier whole object is printed, all the countries object is printed. Now country 1, country 2, because we are in the loop now. This is Afghanistan information, and this is Albania information, Algeria information. Like this we are getting the country information. So if you can expand this, you can see this is the country. Oh, country is the key. So if you want to get the country, now you can see, just come here, object dot country. All countries is an object dot country. Now you can see, if you can click, you will get only countries now. Can you see? I'm getting all the countries. You're getting all the countries. Afghanistan, Albania, Algeria, like this. In the same manner, you want to get a total cases, total deaths, total TOTL, total cases. I am writing total cases. Let us check this. You're getting, oh, undefined. Why undefined, guys? Here, 1 minute. What's that information we are having? Total. I think the key we have to get it actually. Let me check the key. Countries. Total confirmed, that is the key. If you don't know, go there and copy the key. Total confirmed, not total cases. Okay, total confirmed. I have total deaths also. Okay, total deaths. Now you can go with DEATHS, total deaths. Now you can check this in the console. I think we can see the total case, total country. Now you can see all the information. Zimbabwe, total countries and total deaths. Zambia, total cases and total deaths. Yemen, total cases and total deaths. We are able to see this information in the console. I don't want to see this information in the console. I have to see on the screen. That too in a HTML table format. Let us see. Then what I want to do, before iterating, let me take a variable, empty variable I'm taking for just concatenating purpose. Txt plus is equal to, I'm taking table tag open, table tag close. In this I have to take tr open, tr close. In this, let me take some ths, th open, th country, 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 total deaths, total confirmed, total cases. Let us write the thing like this. My heading is going to be total cases, and next is going to be total deaths. Let us write this like this. TOTAL, total, DEATHS, total deaths. Okay, okay. Now after the loop, I have to close the table. See what we are doing. We are all concatenating, guys. Actually, we are just concatenating the data. If you want, you can see one thing. There is a div na. To that div, we have to bind the data. That's the reason I'm just concat. Now you can see. Just try to understand. Now I'm just going to write this document dot get element by ID, element by ID. What is the ID we are having here? Data na? Data dot inner HTML equal to txt and now you can just refresh the page. You can see this table is binded na? That's the reason we are just concatenating all the fields here. If you want, you can take table border equal to 1. Concatenations are very important, guys. We will play a vital role here. Now you can see country, total cases and total deaths. If you want, you can take a serial number also. I want to take a serial number here. Let us take 1th, open, th close. Like this, I'm making this as a serial number. Now you can check this. One more heading is added, right? Serial number, country, something like this. Now, so this is the data. This data is printing in the console, not on the screen. Then what I have to do? Everything is one row, na? I mean, everything is one tr. Then what I want to do? Let me remove this. Txt plus is equal to, I have to take this everything into a tr, open, tr close, close the tr. In this tr, we have to display the data. Txt plus equal to td and d. What is the first td we have? Serial number. So for the serial number, let me concatenate the variable I plus 1. That's all. So now what is going to happen? 1 will be added. The second one, I have to concatenate all C of I dot country, COUNTRY country in the second TD. What is the third TD? Total confirmed TOTAL, total CONFIRMED, total confirmed. Next one is the total deaths only. Total DEATHS, total deaths. So refresh the page now. You can check this. It is going to be print all the information. See, we have data here. This is the data we are able to see here. The data, we are not displaying all the thing, but we are displaying some information as very cleanly, very neatly. The JSON data was always like this. This data you have to collect and you have to display the data like this. All the information, almost all, how many countries of information is there? First of all, we have to understand the JSON and you have to explore this. For example, this is the JSON you are having, right? Control C. We have some tools, guys. JSON pretty your stuff, some tools will be there. I mean online. I will copy the complete JSON here. If you can see the viewer, now you can see the JSON data was like this very clearly. And if you can click on the countries, now you can see all the country information. In the countries information, what are the information we are having? All we can see here completely. Can you see? Total confirmed, newly confirmed, every information was like this. For the JSON pretty viewer, I will share you this link also with you. If you want to format or do anything with JSON, yes, you can do the same, no problem. That is a link I just sharing you for our better understanding, okay, of the JSON. See, the same concept, same logics we are going to implement in Angular, we are going to implement in React, jQuery, JavaScript. The concept is same. Ajax is available in JavaScript, jQuery, React, and Angular also. Wherever you go, Ajax is there. But maybe here we are writing these many number of lines of code to implement the Ajax, right? Right. But there is not required to create these many number of lines of code. That's very simple job. If you can go to Angular, if you can go to jQuery, just 4 5 lines of. But this processing logic is common. This logic is we cannot change. This logic is common. Wherever you go, this logic is common. We can do anything, right? Definitely the logic is the same. We have to go with we have to go in the same manner. Okay, this is what exactly the way of getting data from an endpoint URL, right? What I want to do, I will give you one more endpoint URL to you. This is COVID information. Now I'm going to give you one more URL. This is all about the users information. Users information. I think there are 10 users information only. This contain username, user email ID, user address, user mobile number, city, pin code, country. I think this information is available in the JSON URL. I will share you. Try to implement the same in a table format. Whatever the logic we written here, the same, nothing changed. The only thing here we added country, total confirmed, total that's na. In place of it, username, email, mobile will become. Logic is same, nothing. I think if you can do this your own, I think it will be easy for you. JSON placeholder. Let me give you the following link to you, and you can practice this without fail. Users. Now can we see? This is the JSON URL. Again the same JSON data, but you can see what are you getting here? ID, name, username, email, address. Address is the object again. Here we have phone number, his mobile number, his company. All the information is there. And try to iterate this data. If you have any doubt, please let me know in the tomorrow session. I will help you. So once this is completed, tomorrow I will tell you one more. This is we are able to get the data now. Now I have to tell you how can we post the data? How can we post the data to server? That too without refreshing, without reloading. How we can post the data to server without refreshing, without reloading. That we can see in the tomorrow session, guys. Okay, right. But you need to work with this following endpoint URL. I shared you in the chat window. All of you copy that endpoint URL. Try to complete it. See, only thing is this URL here you have to keep. That's all. Everything is valid. So in place of this URL summary, COVID summary URL, you have to keep the following URL. First step, second step, third step is also same. Here up to here is same. Up to here is same. So from here, you are going to take all users is equal to JSON data, something like this, and you have to iterate it. Okay, do the same that we can see in the tomorrow session. Okay, otherwise I will explain you, but you need to try this. After that, I will discuss about I will create a form. From that form, how can we collect the data? How can we post the data to the server? We can see that in tomorrow session. Okay, right. Thank you then, guys. Here.